As a doctor, I've seen countless patients who believe that declining brain and vision health are an inevitable part of aging. You may not think so, but it's remarkable how certain everyday foods can actually protect and repair your brain and eyes while you sleep. I'm not talking about pricey supplements or complex medical procedures. I'm talking about simple, real whole foods, the kind you likely have in your own kitchen right now. But before we get to that, let me ask you a few direct questions. Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten what you were going to do? What about opening the refrigerator and just staring, unable to recall why you opened it in the first place? And what about your vision? Have you noticed yourself squinting to see at night, struggling to make out small print or seeing the faces of your loved ones just a bit more blurry? These aren't just normal minor inconveniences of getting older. In my experience, they are often crucial warning signs. Your brain and your eyes are likely running on low fuel, silently under attack by years of oxidative stress, poor circulation, and long-standing nutritional deficiencies. The most concerning part. This quiet damage continues even while you sleep, the very time your body should be healing and regenerating. You are entitled to better health than that. And the good news is, there are specific natural and affordable foods that most people simply overlook. Yet these foods are packed with vital compounds that support memory focus and night vision. We'll discuss 4 of them today. Each one is supported by scientific research, easy to find at any grocery store, and incredibly simple to incorporate into your daily life. If this is your first time on my channel, I want to invite you to join our community. We create practical, evidence-based health videos, just like this, specifically designed for older adults who want to maintain their mental sharpness, their independence, and their vitality. Let's take that first step toward a clearer mind and a brighter view of the world. We'll begin with a food that's common and familiar. But don't let that mislead you. This simple nut holds a quiet power, particularly when it comes to supporting your brain and your eyes. I'm referring to walnuts. Now, most people connect walnuts with heart health, and that's absolutely correct. But what you might not be aware of is that walnuts are also one of the richest plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA. And here's why that is so important. ALA plays a key role in reducing chronic inflammation, the kind that gradually wears down both the retina in your eyes and the delicate blood vessels that support your brain's function. Your retina is filled with tiny photoreceptor cells that are responsible for converting light into the images you see. When those cells become inflamed or don't get enough nourishment, your vision can become less clear, especially when you're in a low-light environment. At the same time, poor circulation within the small vessels of your brain can lead to slower thought processing, forgetfulness, and what we often call senior moments. A clinical study published in the journal Nutrients in 2020 found that consistent walnut consumption was linked to improved cognitive function and visual memory in older adults. In addition, another study from the Journal of Nutrition, Health, and Aging showed that consuming walnuts helped reduce oxidative stress in the retina, which is a major factor contributing to age-related macular degeneration. But the most remarkable thing about walnuts is that they don't just slow down damage. They actively help the body repair itself while you're asleep. As you rest, your body uses the ALA and the polyphenols from the walnuts to help restore damaged nerve cells and improve the health of the blood-retinal barrier, a protective lining located at the back of your eyes. Let me share a real-world example. I once worked with a patient named Harold. He was 74 years old, a retired mechanic, and as stubborn as they come, but he was incredibly sharp when he wanted to be. He came to me complaining that he could no longer read road signs at night, and he wasn't ready to give up driving. When we looked at his diet, it was high in processed fats and low in essential nutrients. So we made a tiny change. Every night, about an hour before he went to bed, Harold ate a small handful of raw walnuts. He didn't have high hopes, but within just 3 weeks, he told me he could read street signs again clearly and without having to squint. Now, I'm not saying walnuts were some miraculous cure for his vision, but what they did was provide his body with the necessary tools to restore blood flow and reduce inflammation in the exact tissues that needed it most. That's the real power of choosing the right foods at the right time. And the best part, walnuts are incredibly easy to find. They don't require any preparation, and they won't cause your blood sugar to spike, making them a perfect choice even for seniors who are managing diabetes. So if your eyes feel dry, tired, or simply not as sharp as they used to be, why wait for a prescription? Start with what's on your plate. Next, we'll talk about another nut that's just as powerful, but is frequently overlooked, especially when it comes to protecting your memory. Now let's shift our focus to a nut that's small, smooth, and has a gentle sweetness. But don't let its unassuming appearance fool you. Almonds are one of the most underappreciated tools for supporting your long-term vision and cognitive clarity. Here's the reason. Almonds are loaded with vitamin E, particularly a form known as alpha-tocopherol. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant that shields the cells in your retina and brain from oxidative stress that's silent, invisible damage caused by free radicals. But it goes beyond that. In your brain, vitamin E helps to stabilize cell membranes, allowing your neurons to function correctly and maintain clear communication. It also helps to preserve the integrity of myelin, the protective coating that surrounds your nerve fibers and allows your thoughts to travel efficiently from one place to another. When myelin begins to break down, signals slow down, and so does your memory, your speech, and your ability to focus. Additionally, almonds provide small but meaningful amounts of magnesium and riboflavin, two nutrients that are involved in the production of neurotransmitters. These chemical messengers are essential for how your brain processes information, stores new memories, and regulates your mood. And what about your eyes? Your retina especially. The macula, which is responsible for your sharp central vision, is rich in fatty acids and delicate proteins that can degrade with age and exposure to oxidative damage. The vitamin E found in almonds helps slow this degeneration, keeping your macula healthier for a longer period of time. A large-scale study in investigative ophthalmology and visual science found that people with a higher vitamin E intake had a significantly lower risk of developing advanced macular degeneration, which can lead to dark or blurry patches in your vision. At the same time, another review published in the Journal of Nutrition linked long-term vitamin E intake with better working memory and slower age-related brain shrinkage in seniors. But what might be most important is the way almonds deliver these benefits. Unlike pills or powders, almonds release their nutrients gradually, particularly when you eat them in the evening. This gives your body ample time to absorb them while you're asleep, when both your brain and your eyes go into a deep repair mode. Let me give you a quick example. Maria, one of my patients in her late 60s, had been struggling with forgetfulness and waking up with dry, irritated eyes. We added just 10 almonds to her evening routine. After a few weeks, her eyes felt less strained, and her memory, as she described it, felt less like a fog and more like a window. No drastic changes, just real food working in harmony with your body's natural rhythms. So if you're searching for a simple, safe, and satisfying way to protect your eyesight and keep your mind clear, almonds are one of the smartest things you can reach for. Next, we'll explore two lesser-known nuts that have a powerful impact where it matters most: your retina, your nerves, and even your sleep. If there's one nut that quietly excels in supporting eye health, brain function, and even improving sleep, it has to be pistachios. These small green gems are much more than just a tasty snack. They are one of the only nuts that contain significant amounts of lutein and zeaxanthin. These two carotenoids aren't just good for you. They are absolutely essential for the health of your retina, especially the macula, which is what gives you the sharp, detailed vision you need for reading, driving, and recognizing faces. Think of lutein and zeaxanthin as a pair of natural sunglasses that are built into your eyes. They filter out high-energy blue light, decrease your sensitivity to light, and slow the oxidative damage that leads to macular degeneration, which is a leading cause of vision loss in older adults. In a clinical review published in the journal Nutrients in 2021, a higher dietary intake of lutein and zeaxanthin was strongly linked to better contrast sensitivity and improved night vision in older individuals, especially in those who were already showing early signs of age-related eye decline. But pistachios don't just help your eyes. They also support the chemical messengers inside your brain. This is because pistachios are a natural source of vitamin B6 and copper. Vitamin B6 plays a direct role in producing serotonin and dopamine, two neurotransmitters that influence your mood, your ability to focus, and how you form memories. And copper helps your brain maintain healthy myelin, the insulating sheath that ensures electrical signals move smoothly between your nerve cells. To put it simply, pistachios help your brain communicate more clearly and your eyes process light more efficiently. What's more, they are one of the few nuts that also contain melatonin, the hormone your brain uses to regulate your sleep-wake cycle. In small natural amounts, dietary melatonin can help improve your sleep quality, and this is when the majority of your retinal and neural repair actually occurs. One small study in nutrition research found that pistachios had the highest melatonin content among commonly eaten nuts, even higher than walnuts or almonds. So eating a few pistachios before you go to bed isn't just a safe choice. It might actually help your eyes and brain heal better while you rest. Let me tell you about Roger, a 70-year-old retired high school teacher. He wasn't losing his vision, but he told me his eyes felt dry and strained every night, and that his concentration would fade after reading for more than 10 minutes. We kept it simple. I asked him to try a small handful of pistachios about 90 minutes before bed. Within just 2 weeks, he said his eyes felt less scratchy, and he was finally finishing chapters again, not dozing off halfway through them. Sometimes the most significant change doesn't come from a prescription bottle. It comes from a small bowl of the right foods at the right time. And pistachios, with their vibrant green color and dense nutrient profile, deserve a place in your evening routine if you want to see clearly and think clearly well into your golden years. In the next section, we'll explore one of the most potent and most misunderstood nuts of all, and the truth about how just one can reshape your brain's defenses from the inside out. Of all the nuts we've discussed so far, Brazil nuts might be the most powerful and the most misunderstood. Why? Because you only need a single one. That's correct. Just one Brazil nut contains over 100% of your daily requirement for selenium, a trace mineral that plays a crucial role in how well your brain and eyes function as you get older. Selenium isn't just good for you. It's essential for producing a group of enzymes called selenoproteins, which help your body neutralize free radicals, especially in high metabolism areas like the retina and the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. When your selenium levels are low, your cells become vulnerable to oxidative stress. Inflammation builds up in sensitive neural tissue, and key brain chemicals begin to fall out of balance. This can lead to you feeling foggy, forgetful, or moody, and your vision may start to blur, especially in low-light settings. Now here's the part that most people miss. You cannot store large amounts of selenium for long periods. Your body requires a small, consistent supply, and Brazil nuts deliver exactly that in a natural form. A study published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that older adults with a higher selenium intake performed significantly better on tests of verbal memory and cognitive speed compared to those with lower levels. Another review in this journal, Nutrients, in 2022, noted that selenium plays a key role in protecting against age-related macular degeneration, especially when it's combined with vitamin E. In other words, selenium doesn't work by itself. It partners with other antioxidants like those found in almonds and pistachios to help your eyes and brain resist damage over time. But let me be very clear, you do not want to overdo it. Consuming more than 2 or 3 Brazil nuts per day on a regular basis can actually lead to selenium toxicity, which can cause nausea, fatigue, or more serious issues over time. That's why I often advise my patients to stick with just 1 Brazil nut per day, or even just a few per week. Let me tell you about Tom. He's 75, a retired architect. He came to me because he said his brain felt tired all the time. He didn't have dementia, but he was forgetting names, losing his train of thought in the middle of sentences, and struggling to finish crossword puzzles, which used to be his favorite hobby. We added just 1 Brazil nut a day to his evening routine. That was the only change we made. Within a month, he told me he felt more awake during conversations, and his eyes weren't straining as much at night. Now, of course, this is not a miracle fix, but when your body receives the right tools in the right amounts, it has an incredible ability to heal itself. So if you've been feeling mentally sluggish, if your eyes seem dull, or if your memory just isn't as sharp as it used to be, start small, start smart, and remember, when it comes to Brazil, nuts less is definitely more. Next, I'll show you how to combine all these powerful nuts into a simple, gentle evening plan that supports your brain, your eyes, and your peace of mind, night after night. Now that you understand how each of these 4 nuts supports your brain and your vision, let's make it practical. How can you actually use them in your daily life? Here is a plan I have shared with many of my patients. It's simple, realistic, and it doesn't require any complicated preparation. Choose a quiet moment in the evening, approximately 60 to 90 minutes before you plan to go to sleep. That is your ideal window to nourish your body, not too close to bedtime, but not too far away either. Then prepare a small, balanced mix of all 4 nuts. A few walnut halves for their omega-3s and polyphenols that improve circulation and reduce inflammation in both your brain and your retina. A small handful of almonds rich in vitamin E to protect the membranes of your nerve cells and the delicate tissues of your eyes. A dozen or so pistachios loaded with lutein, zeaxanthin, and B6 to support your macula, your night vision, and your neurotransmitter balance. And finally, just 1 Brazil nut, your daily selenium boost. That's all you need to activate key antioxidant enzymes that support long-term memory and prevent oxidative damage. You can eat them raw or lightly roasted, whatever you prefer. Some people enjoy them plain. Others mix them into a small bowl of yogurt or sprinkle them over fruit slices. The goal here isn't perfection, it's consistency. And you don't need to eat the exact same mix every single night. Many of my patients rotate. They'll have walnuts and almonds one night and pistachios and Brazil nuts the next. You aren't trying to fix anything in a single day. You are building a rhythm of nourishment over time. Now, a few simple notes for safety and comfort. If you are managing diabetes, these nuts are naturally low in carbohydrates and rich in healthy fats, so they will not spike your blood sugar. If you have high cholesterol, walnuts and almonds in particular have been shown to help lower LDL levels. And if you have digestive sensitivities, you can try soaking the almonds or walnuts in water for a few hours. This makes them softer and easier for your system to tolerate. But what matters most is this: every evening, you are giving your brain and your eyes exactly what they need to recover and rebuild while you sleep. You're not relying on pills, powders, or empty promises. You're choosing real food in the right amount at the right time. This small routine doesn't require much effort. But the payoff: waking up with a clearer mind, less eye strain, and more confidence in your focus, your reading, and your recall. You might not notice the change overnight, but give it a week or 2 weeks, and your body will start to show you what it has been missing. In the final part of this video, I want to leave you with one simple reminder. It's never too late to take control of your health, and it can start with just 1 handful. I want to leave you with this final thought. You may have been told, or you may have even felt, that once your memory begins to fade, or your vision starts to blur, there's no turning back, that it's simply a part of getting older, that all you can do is just accept it. But in my professional opinion, that's not the complete story, because your body, even at 60, 70, 80, and beyond, still knows how to heal. It is still listening. It is still responding to what you feed it, how you take care of it, and how gently you support it each and every day. And when you give it the right tools, not drugs or miracle cures, but simple, powerful foods, you give yourself the opportunity to stay sharp, to stay connected, to keep reading your favorite books, to recognize the faces you love, and to remember the moments that matter most. It doesn't require a major transformation. It just takes one small, consistent change. A handful of the right nuts before bed. That's it. Will you wake up tomorrow with perfect eyesight and a laser-sharp memory? Probably not. But give it a week. Give it a month. And you may just find your vision returning to clarity, your thoughts coming back a little quicker, and your confidence returning one night at a time. And if you've watched this far, I want to personally thank you. Thank you for giving your time, your trust, and your full attention. That means more than you can possibly know. If this video helped you even a little, please consider liking, sharing it, or leaving a comment below. And if you'd like more videos like this created specifically for older adults who care about their health, their independence, and their happiness, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We are honored to have you here. You deserve a clear mind. You deserve strong vision. You deserve to feel like yourself again. And that journey can start tonight with just one handful.